Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, remix, sorry. Uh-oh, I think internet's having trouble again. Sure what's going on there.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call for the council, please.
Smith.
Here.
Anderson. Here. Arcano.
Here.
Burbank. Here. Ferguson. Here. Bender. Absent, or she's online. Green.
Yep. The agenda modifications, do we have an amended agenda?
Move to approve the amended agenda as provided. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries. Sorry, guys. I think our internet might be going down.
All right, we have anybody signed up for public comment this evening, Carolyn? Yeah, you want to go in the beginning?
I can try,
Sure,
yeah.
okay.
First of all, Carolyn Robertson Harding here, President of the Buckley Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of the Buckley Chamber of Commerce, happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
Here should we sing?
Yeah, I'm only one, that's perfect.
And I wasn't able to purchase it locally, but I did go to the Bonnie Lake Safeway. And the lady that sold me the cake is really nice and she lives here in the city. So
Thank you,
it's the best I could do.
thank you. Thank the chamber too, please.
I will. You're welcome. Right off the bat, just a reminder, the wine walk that we have scheduled on September 13th. Of course, anyone that can attend, we greatly appreciated to support our businesses. We did spend some additional funds this year to purchase Aaron Crawford's band to come with him. So all the more important for us to make sure that we sell some tickets. I'm going to be reaching out to Aaron. He does a lot of social media work and ask him to, hey, put a shout out for us because we're having a hard time over here with the bridge closed. So he should be willing to do that. So I want to cover 3 quick things. One is we will be turning in by the end of the week our LTAC reimbursement submittal for our previous funds. Those are about $27,000. What I'm waiting for is one final invoice from a vendor and then I'll be able to turn those in. The only thing I would ask is that if we could in some way expedite those funds back to us. I know the city has a process, but if there's a way to do that, that'd be greatly appreciated because I'm going to be asking the board to spend some significant amount of revenue that we currently have to be able to help these businesses through these efforts and over the next weeks, months, whatever that looks like. So having that backfill will be greatly appreciated. The mayor and I spoke earlier today, and I shared with him the information that I shared with Melissa Littleton in Executive Mello's office. She's the government relations staffer. She's been asked to gather data on the impacts to businesses in the communities over here, and so I shared them with her. I did reach out to several of our businesses. As I explained to the mayor, it's a little unnerving to some of my businesses to share financial data with the government. So I was able to gather some, but not maybe as many as I would like. The one that I think really stands out to me is Arrow Lumber. Sean shared with me today that right now, over these 18 days of the August 1st to August 18th, when these last few days that they have had revenue related to the bridge, 2,600 per day lost. In addition to that, he said he estimates about 40 some, maybe 45 less customers coming in the door. So he's losing both foot traffic and a pretty significant amount of revenue every day. And that adds up pretty quickly when you start accumulating that. Rainier Fresh laid off 4 employees. They had 9, now they have 5. Mount Rainier Creamery also did layoffs. I'm believing part of that is going to be just their summer staff. It's getting close to the end of the summer, so I'm hoping that will help kind of stabilize them. Wells Spa said, right, Johansson's Place on Main Street said that they, and they are new chamber members, by the way, they've only been open a couple of weeks, 80% reduction in sales. Let's see here. So related to that, I just wanted to say, in addition, I did speak to KB Homes and Richmond at Luke's Landing. Both of them said that they have to build. They have to complete these houses because they can't carry the cost of the financing over another year. That's just not going to work for them. So I think that will help us a little bit stabilize some of the money that will be coming in. I have not been able to speak to DR Horton yet. I'm a little concerned that they haven't opened the offices up yet. They have the offices there. They have people building houses, but they haven't opened the offices. DR is usually the kind of the leader of how to manage their processes and sales, and the city could see some delay in REIT funds because they're going to maybe slow down a little bit, but we'll just have to watch and see, and I'll let you know if I hear anything. I will say also related to that I spoke to Director Hines for a few minutes about our sales tax in the city and where it comes from. The two that she and I both thought were concerning, 5% of the city's sales tax is generated from gas-related sales. And I talked to Rajan Joban that just spent a significant amount of money to buy MatchMart, and they said we have no customers. So it's significant to them, the loss of what could be those dollars. The other one that I think is going to really struggle, and Sandy agreed with me, was 8% of the city's sales tax comes from restaurants. And so that is going to be a hard one too, because we do actually get quite a few people coming across the bridge to shop at our restaurants and be there with them. So that is just the short part of information. The third thing I want to share with you is what the council could do, what the mayor could do to help us trying to keep us afloat. And most of it is surrounding marketing. We would like to put up some electronic reader boards, kind of like DOT has put up, but not that big, on maybe 2 corners of town, maybe down towards Monday Loss, and maybe somewhere up here by maybe Park, or maybe 410 on the corner. I'm just not sure yet. Maybe I could get some feedback on that from folks. But Jalen was kind enough to offer to lend them to us if he has them available. He says if I'm not using them on a site, he was welcome to. He said you can use them, and no cost, which was very nice of him to offer. If he doesn't, I'm just going to find somewhere and rent them, whatever we have to do. The other thing I wanted to talk to the council about is sandwich boards potentially on the trail. As people are riding their bikes through and they're on the trail, I want to encourage them and remind them maybe to pull into town and make some stops, things that we can maybe do to encourage them to support who's hanging out here. The other one is bike racks. I kind of did a drive-by, and Aaron, I'm probably wrong, but I only saw 3, one at the youth center, one at Main Street at River, and one that I believe the Scoop owns on their corner. Yeah, and I did check with the school district. They don't have any extra ones because I was going to see if we could borrow them, but they said no. The one that you and I talked about, Mayor, but Main and Park there, or not Main and Park, excuse me, Main and 410, that we talked about, it's kind of sitting really close to the road.
Oh, River and.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you, sorry. I think maybe that's not the exact best spot for it, just because if anyone's bought a bike recently, you know how expensive they are. And to put them so close to the road where they're kind of visible, I was concerned that something might happen to them. If I would had my husband's bike was $700 a couple of years ago because he's really tall. It would be a situation where I don't know if I'd want to leave it there because it's kind of visible, maybe somewhere a little closer to the park, maybe on the riverside versus the Main Street side. But I've also checked into what they call event bike racks. And I'm going to ask the board to purchase a couple of those and get those closer to town so that people can feel like they can pull off the trail or walk in and park their bike and know that it's going to be safe and nearby. So those are some things that would be definitely helpful. The other one that you mentioned, Mayor, which I fully support, is food trucks. If someone wanted to say, put a coffee stand down by where everybody's parking, I mean, if you got 300 cars in there, I would think a few people might want to grab a coffee before they head over the bridge. I'm not opposed to that. I would like to see if there was some sort of permitting process for those to allow them, that maybe some preference was given to chamber members. I know in normal circumstances that probably wouldn't be appropriate to try to pick winners and losers, but in this case, these people are working really hard to keep their businesses afloat, and anything we could do to help them would be great. I know, for example, I'm losing it, Bratia, Klinkeber. They have a food truck, and I think you mentioned that they had already asked. They are chamber members. Great. I think that would be great. And then the other thing I just wanted to let the council know to be aware of is that I believe our chamber reader board lease renewal is coming up. And we would like to see an addition to that lease, if that is possible. Many of us have driven to Enumclaw, not so much recently, but as you come into town, they have those 4 posts in the ground and they use those for banners. That is a really nice way to be able to have some flexibility, and it saves us costs because we have to pay someone to put up those reader boards on the other end of town every time they change once a week. This is just, they go put their banner up and then they take them down. But it's a nice way to have another opportunity once the bridge gets reopened to be able to get people's attention on both ends of town. So that would be something that we would be asking for.
Okay.
When the time comes. Thank you.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
thank you. And I think
I have a public comment that I was gonna read from Zoom.
okay, I just real quick, I think we do have a bike rack at the new city hall.
We do.
Okay.
Trail. Dog capabilities.
And a new one going in at the trailhead. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thanks, Aaron. Let's see, I just wanted to touch on. And the reader boards, Carolyn spoke of would be like, businesses are open, the flashing like WashDOT uses, whatever that would look like, something to promote the businesses are still open. Lease expansion. Okay.
So we have a comment online from Mary Schiller at 287 North 4th Street. She said the Buckley Market has been very fun this year. She wanted to comment on how nice it is living on the corner of 4th and Park. She would like to suggest and request that the speed sign that records traffic be placed on Park Avenue for the month of September to get a true reading of the actual amount of traffic on Park Avenue without all the shortcut traffic. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Mary, if you're listening, for your comment. That's perfect. Okay. Anybody else? The public comment? We'll have another at the end of the deal, end of the show. Okay. All right, into the mayor's report. I guess I'll start with, is that where everybody's got this map? And I think we have some extra copies back there if anybody wants one. I just wanted to get this started. Eric and another member of the fire department, myself, have been talking about the bridges. There's so much talk, of course, of the bridge, and so many folks refer to the bridge when just in general conversation. And so I just wanted to point out to all the council members and to the public, there's actually 5 bridges in that small little radius, not including the Bailey Bridge out on 162 that's temporary / permanent, near the Burnett Junction. Not to mention the Fairfax Bridge, and you saw I think, did we get, this is just the 5 here. But I just wanted, because the Cumber Bridge, we have but we have a lot of confusion between the WashDOT Bridge and the Foothills Trail Bridge. There are actually 2 Foothills Trail Bridges, one the King County owns, the big new one, and then we have one on the foothills that the city of Buckley owns, which is the little short concrete bridge that most people don't realize is a bridge, but where you go over the flume. So the city owns that, as well as the Flume Bridge on 410. So there's 5 bridges. The bridge, just so everybody knows, the bridge that on here that's numbered number 5 is the short bridge on Mud Mountain Dam Road just northwest of the new trail bridge on Mountain Road. That is scheduled to go out to bid in the next couple of months and is going to be taken out next year. They may need to push that depending what goes on with the Washtenaw Bridge. So that's a whole nother angle to this whole debacle. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. That would obviously affect shuttle service on the other side. I talked to the mayor of Enumclaw a couple times over the last few days. And they're working with King County on a shuttle service. We've talked to Pierce Transit. We're a little further behind than they are because we've got the parking and they don't. They've been working on shuttle parking options, though. Enumclaw Middle School sounds to be pretty much guaranteed as a spot. Enumclaw rolled something out today on the social media for parking. So anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on that. The bridge, Eric and I are gonna work on naming or somehow labeling these bridges. The Foothills Trail Bridge is the only one, I believe, that has an actual sign on it, FH01 for, I assume, Foothills 1 bridge. And then obviously the Little Buckley Bridge. And so people, especially for emergency response, if people are hurt, which bridge are you on? There's a lot. And of course, South Sound 911 barely knows where Buckley is. So we need to give them as much pinpointed accuracy as we can. Eric did a great job last week on the, it's not a rehearsal, drill night, by going around, bypassing the City of Buckley Trail Bridge, this short concrete bridge over the Cascade Water Alliance flume. Chris isn't here tonight. He's on site. So we're working on getting it because we actually don't know what we can carry, what that bridge can carry. We don't even know how old it is. Well, we do know that. I don't know it off the top of my head though. So we'll have to have, and we're gonna get an estimate on how much it's gonna cost to get an engineer to give us a weight rating on that. Gray and Osborne's working on that. Lots of bridge stuff. Okay, I'll just read off. This is news that apparently, it's my understanding, WashDOT hasn't even rolled out yet. They were saving it. Council member Dunn and I spoke this morning and his deputy director sent me this. Let's see. So with regards to a timeline, we are working as quickly and as efficiently as possible to get the repair plans outlined. I don't have anything more substantive or definitive to share with you or Councilmember Dunn aside from what I shared with the group this morning, which was yesterday. To recap that information, one, we are going to have to put approximately 5 braces on the bridge in an emergency capacity before we begin permanent repairs. Material to make the braces is on order. They need to be fabricated. We will install them as quickly as they are received. That is to say, we won't wait until we have all 5 of them to start installing them. 2, once we have the braces on the bridge, we will evaluate the bridge to determine if the bridge can reopen and if so, in what capacity. Examples could be open to emergency vehicles only, open like the State Route 169 Dan Evans Bridge, which we know is the Cummer Bridge, where traffic is currently alternating one direction. They have a light on each side. That's an option. Long-term repair strategy is still being evaluated and designed. Until we have a design, we don't know how long repairs will take or if traffic will be able to flow across the bridge during the permanent repair project. All of this to say the extent of the damage on this bridge means that this is a long process to formulate a comprehensive plan. So that's probably I know there's a lot of folks that have been clamoring to be the first one out with the information, and that's not my desire in any way. This just happened to fall into our lap here today. So I know there's been a lot of misinformation, obviously not on purpose, I don't think by anybody, but so that's why this, just so we can kind of get our heads around the 5 different bridges and so on and so forth. So is there anything else? I don't think so. I saved up all my past mayor's reports for this tonight. Okay, Citizens Advisory Commission, Councilmember Anderson.
Yep. We met August 18th. It was actually a really fun meeting, a lot of good topics. Director Snodgrass started with just a staff report on the Dock Tape Pavilion, successful grand opening, and that there will be some sign revisions out there. So if you see people out there, they're just updating some signage. And then they ordered a bike rack and they ordered movable picnic tables, correct? Okay, yeah, so that's exciting out there. Then she updated us on Miller Park, which shout out to her. Our original award was 488,000, but it just increased to 495,000 with a city match of 23,350. So now, as she explained it, we can go under a single COFA grant contract rather than two, which will reduce her back end like workload on everything she has to do. So that's huge. And then rollout of that, I mean, we will obviously see this come before us, but thinking of a phased out Miller Park. So in phase one, I'm super excited. The pickleball courts, I'll be out there. But we will see that before us. Then we talked about Beautify Buckley. This year, unfortunately, grants were not received like they were in the past. So in the past, we've had more of like a parks directive of like, these are our projects, this is what we're doing, but grants weren't received. So it's moving towards more of a community led. So she's reached out to churches, the schools, just community groups to say, your people can come out or invite anybody out and do the projects you need done. So it'll be more of just a community project. And then that night is the wine walk. So people can work in the morning, then go have a refreshment. Anything I missed on that? That's Saturday, September 13th in the morning. Then our new business, we will be seeing a park bench application, which they won't see it. Oh, we just approve it? Oh, okay. Well, we saw it at my group. Sorry. And I'm so excited because it is actually a former White River teacher whose husband just passed away. And his foundation gives back to the schools and gives scholarships. So I think it will be really awesome to highlight his bench. And she's thinking of doing a swing down by the new Foothills Trail. So I'm really excited to see that happen. And then our last more exciting one was just talking about wayfinding and the signage in Buckley. So Director Snodgrass just had us talk about how many signs do we need and like where should we put them? What kind of signage? Should they just say food, drink, ice cream, or should we name out businesses? So we had really good conversations around that. And I think we did identify 4 major areas, one down by the trail, one by Cemetery Road, one on Main Street, obviously like a bigger one on Main Street, and then one towards Dysfunction Junction over there on Ryan Road. Just so people know what we have in town and start getting more people. But we'll have way more conversations about that. And our next meeting is in September 15th. So I'll let you guys know.
Perfect, thank you. And we did not have a planning commission meeting that was canceled, so on to the regular agenda.
On tonight's regular agenda is an engineering services proposal, Buckley Rainier School Water System Consolidation Feasibility Study.
Move to approve the engineering services proposal for the Buckley Rainier School Water System Consolidation Feasibility Study.
Second.
And we do have Dom on
Okay,
here to share.
perfect. Dom, do you have speech set up for us, or just if anybody has questions or comments?
Here to answer any questions you might have.
Oh, big echo, okay. Okay, thanks, Dom. Let's see. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments on this? And nothing from Connie? Okay. Do you wanna?
Only if there's a question.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, no questions or comments, everybody?
I can
Oh,
comment from
yeah.
our meetings that the grants, It's
Kenny,
a
can you
$50,000,
pull your
I'm sorry.
mic up?
It's a $50,000 grant received because we've always been in partners with the Rainier State School over our water. And Department of Health kind of wants us to consolidate, so it's one entity running, so.
Yep.
I don't think that it's department, or the state school don't want to take it over, they kind of want us to take it over, so. That's why we're doing the feasibility study to see if we can even, if it's feasible for us to do it or not, so.
Yep.
I just want to thank you for commenting on that because I saw a lot of discussions on Facebook, which people can put their opinions out there. That's fine. But we're not running out of water,
No.
right? Okay,
We've been-
thank you.
We've been in the same system with Rainier
Yeah.
State School since the start. They take care of the treatment and we take care of like the transmission lines.
I think people were confused that we were running out of water because of all of these new developments. And so we were gonna take from them. That's basically what I got from these conversations.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, Chris would like to talk, but unfortunately with the echo, I don't think we can.
I can't.
Okay, yeah. Courtney.
He does have his hand raised.
Just to again clarify, Councilmember Arcano already said that this is really about an operational of how we are operating the treatment plant or the reservoir. It is not at all to do with capacity. So capacity right now is shared between the city of Buckley and DSHS Rainier State School. And as part of the conversation last year with the legislation, when they were proposing to potentially close Rainier State School, this is one of the deliverables that we were asked to look into, was the potential consolidation of the utilities shared by DSHS and the city of Buckley. Nothing to do with capacity, just to do really with staffing and who manages and oversees the employees who run the reservoir.
Yep.
Thank you.
This has been a long time coming. The state has been after us and the school both to, you guys figure it out amongst yourselves. We're not going to be the mediator. Just, we want, obviously, if there's an issue, they need one point of, okay. And of course, if something goes wrong, how do we fix that with two entities? So, and as far as capacity goes, Chris unfortunately can't speak through the internet, but I know Marvin Sundstrom Senior was always on us about keeping that water right, and we do have plenty of water, and that doesn't mean we can't expand it, but we do take quite a bit of water from South Prairie Creek, and we have capacity. Irregardless of what the state school does, capacity is definitely not an issue. So hopefully I helped Chris cover that.
Yes, he just typed, we have plenty of capacity. This consolidation has been talked about for years.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, as for Facebook, better to remain silent and thought to be a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Amen.
Okay, I guess we'll have a vote. All in favor, all opposed.
Motion carries.
That's Abraham Lincoln. I didn't make that up. Okay. What's next? Thanks, Dom, by the way. We didn't get to hear from Dom. Staff reports.
I just wanted to add a little bit to the bridge discussion. First, I wanted to thank PGH who have donated lights, one set of light fixtures that are now placed adjacent to the cemetery along the Foothills Trail Bridge. This is a temporary solution for lighting. I've been working with the county exec's office, Melissa Littleton, on a more permanent solution to potentially have 2 light fixtures like what was installed just adjacent to the bridge by King County on our side to illuminate that. And in the meantime, we continue to recommend that people bring their own headlamps and flashlights to get them safely from their parking area down to the bridge. Speaking of parking, we're currently estimating that about 300 cars are parked within the city of Buckley. We will be issuing some additional direction on where it is most appropriate to park. If you go downriver, for example, you see some instances where people are double or triple parked. It's creating a safety hazard along the right of way. We do have available parking still at the Foothills Trailhead. When I drove through town a couple of times today, there was really nobody parked there, so there's additional capacity there. We are also looking at potentially moving the ecology blocks adjacent to the liquor store and having additional parking there if needed, as well as the White River School District gave us their grass striper. That's the official name. No, what the tool to stripe the grass and paint the grass. And we will be doing that at the log show. And if needed, we hope that this isn't the case, but if needed, we can also open what is currently the dog park for additional parking. So right now it's an evolving situation. We are looking to potentially limit all parking starting at Derringer down River Avenue towards the bridge. And the reason for that is twofold: safety, of course, but also if we are successful with our hopes of implementing some type of a shuttle system, that is going to be the area that we have pick up and drop off. So we need to make sure that we have as much space there in order to accommodate that additional traffic. City of Enumclaw. So for folks that are parking over here and making their way across the bridge, Enumclaw is extending their line, or King County Metro is extending the 915 line, which currently ends at the Aquatic Center, to a new bus stop that will be closer to the bridge. Timeline for that could be as soon as this week. They are still working through the details on that, but just so you know, anybody who's commuting across using the bridge, they will be able to be picked up by the 915 line, which is great. We are continuing to try to engage with Pierce Transit. As the mayor mentioned earlier, we are not currently within the transit service area, so they've been a little slower to come this direction, but all hope is not lost. The county exec office, as well as King County Metro and the city of Buckley, have been pursuing them actively to try to get some type of a resolution. We've also been working with the school district for some temporary solutions, and then we have small shuttles that we could potentially implement if we needed, specifically for people with accessibility issues. So I think that is all, but I'm happy to answer any questions. There's been a lot of different moving parts over the last week. If council has any questions related to the bridge, do my best to answer them now or get answers for you all from the many groups involved.
I'll add one more thing to River Avenues, the threefold. We have Kiewit still working on the fish passage project for the tribe, and their entrance is right there at the bottom of river, and they're bringing wide loads out of there. So we've got that's yet another.
Yeah, and they've
hurdle.
actually concluded much of their work. So they are currently working to remove everything off site, which is wider
Cranes and
so they need additional space to be able to exit using river, and they cannot. They had planned to do so last week, but people were parked along river and they were unable to, and they had to.
Yeah, and we don't want to get into a hassle with that. So.
No.
Especially with Kiewit.
Oh, and for mention of food trucks, we've only had one business contact us so far. We are working with them using the temporary use permit. So we are trying to make it as easy as possible for businesses that want to impose food trucks.
Perfect. And Brandon?
That answered my question. I was gonna ask if there's anything that's preventing
No.
the local business from doing food trucks.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Nope. And Councilman.
Have we increased like patrol down there? Just because I know on the Enumclaw side, I've heard a lot of car thefts.
Ooh.
Are we seeing?
We are fortunate that we have not encountered that yet on the Buckley side, as
good.
far as I know. Yes, we do have additional patrol. Our patrol officers, some live on the Enumclaw side, so it's actually doubled because they're using that in part for their commute, but they are patrolling during that time, checking the area and the vicinity on their way in and out. So we're at least getting 2 per day. The fire department has also been very active down on site and is looking to increase their community involvement and engagement. So we do have regular patrols in the area, and we're having low levels of enforcement. It's mostly just requesting people to be mindful and respectful while they're crossing the trail to make sure everyone stays safe. But we have not run into an issue with car thefts or break-ins.
We haven't had car prowls. It's been, that's why you want to live on this side of the bridge.
Yeah, we are.
No, our police department's been doing a great job. I mean, that's where all the activity is. So you kind of gravitate that way and see what's going on. And I've been down there multiple times, and yeah, it's interesting to watch what's going on. That's for sure. It's quite the show. That made me think of something, but okay. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Just for council members in the back of your mind and public too. Obviously we've got probably 6-ish weeks of good weather ahead of us, but by the second, third week of October, it's always raining. So the Buckley Log Show grounds as a parking area is going to become a mess. We're going to have to shrink that parking area. Most likely. I mean, we're not going to rock that whole thing. Brandon.
finish about that.
Oh, yeah, just something to keep, and then that's gonna, again, there's all gonna be a lot of moving parts as the wet weather comes. So the dog park, again, even if we open the dog park, we're gonna have a muddy mess there because there's no rock in there, so, yeah. Brandon,
I know we don't have a timeline from WashDOT, but do we know like when we should expect the next update from them?
We do know that they have ordered the steel for the beams. And we currently, as staff, are meeting with the WashDOT team Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then internally, we meet with King County, Pierce County, City of Enumclaw, and City of Buckley daily right now. Most of it is non-updates or focused on the shuttle service, but I would expect those updates will come out Tuesdays or Thursdays. Before they release anything on social media, they've told us that they would give us a 2-hour preview. So
Okay.
if there is an additional update, there was one over the weekend, for example, related to this temporary, and we all huddled up over the weekend and received that update. So as soon as we know, you will know.
Sounds good, thank you.
Mhm.
any other council member comments? I guess Ron, go ahead.
I would just, I know information's limited, but we have constituents here who seem to be enamored with one particular Enumclaw council person who's, in my view, speaking out of line. Yeah, city administration is the one that should be putting out these messages to the public of what is happening. People are spun up. I mean, this is two different things, but this reeks of COVID type stuff 5 years before, and then 5 years before that, this previous bridge closing. But if we could, on social media sites, if we could put out when we have it, obviously we can't invent it. And from what I've read, WashDOT wants to be the sole purveyor, as they should, of the information. If we can just put that out there to alleviate some of the anxiousness of the public.
Yep, absolutely. You have something?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that was partially for the map too, just so when there are questions, if people want to reply on Facebook or whatnot. So we can, anything to do with lighting on the bridge, the trail bridge, the Foothills Trail Bridge would be King County's responsibility, yada, yada, yada. That way you can, same with on the other side, obviously. I'll leave, I guess the parting shot will be, I've been in a extreme blood pressure struggle for this entire week. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to know what it is. Due to, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but related to what Ron's comment was with a council member in Enumclaw, but even far bigger than that, we have some folks in King County that are at the staff level deciding who and who does not attend meetings. This will be about as polite as I'm gonna be with King County. Somebody chose either over the weekend or prior to Monday's meeting. Usually the meetings are Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, they had a meeting and somebody or somebodies within King County decided that there would be absolutely no elected officials on these operational calls. And I've run it up the flagpole every which way I can, sent emails. Courtney sent emails far more polite than mine. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of who made that decision. Councilmember Morel's on it. Talked to Reagan Dunn this morning. Thank you, Carolyn, for the contact. And everybody's in agreement that that shouldn't have happened, but nobody's really doing much about it. So, who else? Reagan Dunn, Councilmember Morel, Mayor Molinaro. We spoke, and he's going to run it up the flagpole again tomorrow in a very firm fashion. So, I'll just leave it at that, and hopefully we'll get some closure on this issue, because there was a WashDOT. This is what I read you tonight. That was in that meeting, and they're not interested in having those of us that are elected to represent the people know about that, and I'm not having any of it. So So that's the blood pressure issue amongst others. So with this whole bridge closure, other than that, everything is good. And I appreciate all of your hard work and of course, trying to put things on Facebook at bay as well. So thank you, everybody. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Thanks, council.